Is it still cool to hit the gritty in 2024? Yo guys, Zakaragi here for another episode of Toilet Reviews, where we'll be going over the Nike Jaw 2 in the Preheat / Induction colorway. Now these right here are disappointing to me. We'll find out why later on in the video, but before we do, I got a confession to make to you guys. So it's kind of tough for me to say, but I am suffering from a serious disease right now. I know, hold your tears. And the doctor said the only cure for this disease is more engagement. I need you guys to like and comment on this video. That way the algorithm sees that and gives me a cure for this disease, and I can continue to get better and grow and put out more videos like this for all of you guys out there. So guys, help a brother out. Give me a like and a comment. I'd really appreciate it. So on a more serious note, but without further ado, let's get straight into this review. And this colorway pays homage to Ja Morant being inducted into the Murray State University Hall of Fame, which is where he played his college career at, if you guys didn't know, and he had a hell of a run over there. So it's crazy to me because if I remember correctly, he wouldn't have been recruited to that school if his coach didn't leave from scouting other players to go and grab a bag of Doritos and just happening to see Ja Morant play in the gym beside the vending machine. Like, that is so crazy how life works out sometimes, so big shout out to Ja for that. But moving along, the box that the Jaw 2s come with is different from the Jaw 1 box because these don't have that same iced out design. It's more simplistic with more Ja Morant logos on there, and personally I like the Jaw 1 box better because the iced out look was pretty damn cool, but it is what it is, honestly. Now when it comes to the retail price, there is a $10 increase if I'm not mistaken, so these retail for 120 US or 160 Canadian, so it's still in that budget tier pricing range, but honestly, with what was changed in the shoe, I don't think it's worth increasing the price. You should have just kept it the same because, in my opinion, these are more or less the same thing as the Jaw 1s, just a different design. And speaking about the design, this is just pure laziness if you ask me. Nike has got to stop making shoes look like Kobe's because it's getting really repetitive and really old if you ask me. Like, you can't tell me this doesn't look like a Kobe 5. Like, I got my pair right here. Like, they even got the same sort of midsole design right there. Like, that is just lazy to me. Everything Nike's been putting out recently has just seemed so mundane and bland and boring. Like, none of their new designs really thread the needle, and it's why the other brands are catching up to them, like Adidas, Way of Wade, Anta. All their designs are unique and fresh, and Nike is not even willing to do something like that anymore, which is so damn crazy because they're at the top of the shoe game and everyone's expecting Nike to put some crazy heat out, but they're just putting out shoes that look like Kobe's, and all their shoes look like Kobe's, which make them all look the same. So Nike, if someone from your brand is watching this video, I hope you hear me and listen to me and change the designs of your shoes, make them more unique again, and make us look forward to having a new signature shoe every year with a unique and fresh design. Okay, my bad for going on a bit of a rant there, but let's get more into the details of the shoe. So on the bottom here it says 12ski second signature series, and it also says for the underdogs who have the dog in them. And I don't know about you guys, but that just doesn't sound right. Like, isn't the saying that dog in them like, oh, he's got that dog in him? You know what I'm saying? Like, the dog in them just sounds so lame. It's kind of like your uncle who's trying to be young and cool again, comes up to you and your cousins at the family function and is just like, hey, you young fellas got the dog in you. Like, that doesn't sound right. That sounds so uncool. So Nike should have had it saying that dog in them. That would have been much better. I know this is a little bit of a nitpick, but hey, that's what I like. Now moving along to the outsole here, and this is where they switch things up. So on the Jaw 1s, it was a full-length herringbone pattern, whereas on these guys, we have a tractor tire inspired look right here, and I've never seen what a tractor tire looks like, so I'm going to take Nike for their word here, but it looks like we have a bunch of little suction cups right there, and there's a tiny bit of herringbone surrounding the edges of the pattern as well. Now, my concern for this pattern would have to be on the smooth part where the outrigger is right here, because I feel like it wouldn't grip as well, but we'll have to see when I actually do my performance review and whatnot. But the rubber compound itself on the outsole doesn't feel all too soft and pliable. It actually feels decently sturdy. So when I move the pattern around my nail, It actually doesn't move so easily, so I'm gonna assume this is probably a bit better for outdoor usage, even better if you have the EP version of the shoe. But me personally, I'm not gonna take these outdoors just because it is getting a lot colder here in Canada and I'm not trying to play outside in that weather. So when it comes to the cushioning setup, I'm not entirely sure what the midsole foam is, because on one side of things, I'm hearing it's Cushlon, and on the other side of things, I'm hearing that this is a Phylon. And in my opinion, it feels more like a Phylon because this setup is not nearly as bouncy and responsive as Cushlon can be, and this is more of a firm, dense foam, and I really don't like that because it feels very stiff on foot at first before you break it in, and it feels really bad in the heel portion in my opinion right there. I could really feel the impact of landings when I was doing a little jumping up and down and whatnot in this heel part right here. So I'm hoping it's not too bad on court, especially after it breaks in and whatnot. So we also still have that same rectangular air zoom unit within the forefoot right there, and it still does feel pretty bouncy. But all in all, this is more or less the same cushioning setup as the Jaw ones, which is very disappointing. I would have thought they would have given Jaw an upgrade by now, but clearly Nike hasn't, which sucks. Also, this is the insole the shoes come with. It is a piece of crap, and that's all I gotta say about it. Now diving into the materials, and what we have is a textile mesh in the toe box and goes up to the tongue area. It does feel nice and soft, and it does feel pretty comfortable as well, especially when I flex my foot. I can notice that. Now the majority of the shoe is covered within this TPU screen mesh, and some people might not like it, but me personally I do, just because it adds added durability and support to the shoes, and it also looks pretty cool as well with this nice scratch look going all over it. You can also see the Nike logo through the screen mesh, as well as some other cool designs as well. So when it comes to the padding within the shoes, the top of the tongue here is pretty nice. I like that. But when you get to this mid part of the tongue, it is really thin, and I'm kind of concerned just because I don't like feeling lace pressure, and I'm really hoping that there is enough cushion within this tongue that I don't feel any lace pressure whatsoever. I don't like feeling the laces digging into my foot. And also the interior padding within the back part right here isn't too bad. It's decent at best, so Nike could have done a bit better with this part of the shoe in my opinion. And one thing I do want to note about the Jaw 2 is that depending on the colorway you get will depend on the materials you get as well. So that's something to note if you are planning on buying a different color of the shoe. Also, the shoes do come with some supportive features like this internal heel counter back here, which feels very, very sturdy. We also do have a TPU piece within the midfoot area right there, and it's supposed to act like a midfoot shank plate while not actually being a full midfoot shank plate. So when it comes to Nike shoes, a lot of the time they're not including that midfoot shank plate anymore, only for certain shoes that they do. That's very disappointing because it severely impacts the torsional support and rigidity a shoe can offer you. And it also sucks because a lot of other brands will include the midfoot shank plate, no problem at all, and Nike just seems to cheap out on that part of the shoe. So I don't know what's going on over there at Nike, but you guys gotta fix this problem. And when it comes to the sizing and fit of the Jaw 2s, it's very similar to the Jaw 1s in my opinion. So both the Jaw 1 and 2 fit very, very narrow, especially towards this toe area because the toe box does taper down. So I'd recommend going a half size up if you don't want a very snug glove-like fit that feels very tight on the foot. Because for me, I did go true to size with the Jaw 1s, and I really didn't like how suffocated my foot felt, so I went a half size up for the Jaw 2s, and it felt much better for me. So if you have wider feet, go a half size up, but if you do want a snug fit, then go true to size. But overall, guys, in all honesty, I'm not too impressed with the shoe. It's a very, very lazy design, and it just feels like the Jaw 1 with a different shape and form. So I'm really not looking forward to wear testing these because it's more or less going to be like the Jaw 1s, if not better, hopefully. So stay tuned for my performance review. I'll hopefully have it out sooner rather than later. But comment down below and let me know what you think about the shoes. Do you think it's a lazy design? Do you think they're better than the Jaw 1s? Comment down below and let me know what you think. But we're at that point in the video now, it's time for hashtag Zacharagi. What's rockin'? And for today, wow, look at these guys. These are insane right here. This is the AE1 Pre-Love Purple, and they are such a beautiful colorway. This is probably my new favorite AE1 colorway. Review coming soon. So that is it for today, guys. I appreciate you all for watching. I'm signing out. Peace.